This is Lynn Albro, Internet Marketing Coach, and today's presentation is on habit number 4, put email marketing on autopilot. And there are a couple of different types of email marketing campaigns that we're going to talk about today. One of them is the date-driven campaign, and I'm going to show you how I've set up some just recently, newsletters and holiday postcards. I do have an autoresponder campaign set up, and an autoresponder campaign uses what I call a trigger. Either you trigger the campaign to happen by setting somebody's name into that campaign, and it happens on a specific date, and then everything that happens after that happens so many days or months after that specific date. And with an autoresponder campaign, you might want to send out a series of marketing letters, a series of marketing postcards, virtual postcards, or maybe a step-by-step guide. I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide that I already have set up. I'm going to attempt to show you how to set one up for yourself. First of all, I'm going to talk about the components of an email marketing, and there are 4 main components, and I've worked in a lot of different email marketing programs, and they all sort of have the same things. They have what they call campaigns, which are triggered by a specific date. Or maybe you sit down and write a marketing letter and you send it out that day and it gets sent out immediately. So they're called campaigns at that point. Then there are contact lists. And one of the things that I am going to encourage you today is to take all those business cards and all those different lists that you have all over the place. Maybe you've got them in spreadsheets. Maybe you've just got them on a Rolodex file, the old-fashioned way. And I want you to put them into a spreadsheet. Excuse me now. But as you're putting them into that spreadsheet, think about segmenting them and how you would do that. Sphere of influence. All your family and friends would belong in your sphere of influence, but almost anybody could fit into your sphere of influence. Like your colleagues could fit in there, people you went to school with. You want to set up one list particularly. We're going to talk about this in another habit. I think it's 5 or 6. Setting up a top 100 hot prospects lists. And you're going to want to set up a prospects list, somebody that's going to buy maybe in the next year, and you want to set up a client list, somebody that's already purchased from you. But you need to segment those lists. The third component of an email marketing is reports, and that's data on who opens up your email marketing, and what activities they do while they're there at your email. If they click through to something you're offering, you will get some information, some data on the click-throughs. If they unsubscribe, you're going to get data on unsubscribe. If the email bounces, which happens, then you're going to get some data on the bouncing. That means that it didn't quite make it. Maybe it went into the spam file. And there's a couple forms of bouncing, but I really don't want to go into that during this training program. I'm trying to keep this as short and simple as possible. And then finally, there's the autoresponder campaigns, which are triggered by an action. And by that I mean either you as the business person put somebody into that campaign, one of your contacts into that campaign, you trigger it, or they trigger it by opting into one of your offers. And by opting into, we're going to talk more about offers. I'll show you one that I have set up so that you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. Bear with me. I am still trying to get over this cold. It looks like it's going to be another couple days. So let's talk specifically about date-driven campaigns. And I believe the purpose of a date-driven campaign is to keep in touch with people and maintain your name recognition. And there are 3 things to do to set up a date-driven campaign. You've got to set up your contact list just for that campaign, the people that you want to receive that specific campaign. You're going to create the postcards, letters, and newsletters that you're going to send out in that campaign. And then you're going to create the campaign, actually create it step by step, which I'll show you how to do, and schedule the delivery of those emails on specific dates. So that's why they're called date-driven campaigns. I'm going to show you some that I'm in the process of working on, and I use the program MailChimp. And the reason I use it, I'm going to make this just a little bit larger here. The reason I use MailChimp is because back when I signed up 2 years ago, it was absolutely free for 2,000 contacts and 12,000 emails per month. And the autoresponders at that point were free. And if you notice across the top, the different elements that we just talked about are lined up here. Campaigns, lists, reports, autoresponders, and then there's my account information. Going to campaigns, you can see my April, let's take a look at the let's take a look at the Memorial Day one, which will go out. I'm in the process of working on the April newsletter. If I hadn't been sick, it would probably be done. But we're going to go ahead and open up Happy Memorial Day. And we're going to view the email. And you can see that I actually had to create this one from scratch because they didn't have one available in the templates. So I went and found a picture that was Memorial Day related, and then I found I don't put a whole lot in these. I try to keep them short and simple, just like a postcard would be. Then I added this quotation I found by James Gates Percival, green sods are all their monuments, and yet it tells a nobler history than pillared piles or the eternal pyramids. And then simply put under it my name, my phone number, my tagline, and a link to my upcoming free training webinars. And we will take a look now at the details of this campaign. I'm just going to go in and edit it. And you can see across the top it goes through just all these steps. And the first step is to choose your list, which I chose my largest list, which is everybody that I've been working with for the last couple years that has opted into my email campaigns. And we click next step. They offer you the option of segmenting the list even further, and I don't do that. Then you've got to name the campaign for your personal information, and you've got to name the campaign for the email subject, and the email subject is absolutely critical. It's what gets people to open up the email. And I recommend that you allow comments on Facebook. You can auto tweet in Twitter, but I recommend that you set up the social networking sites, and that's another advantage of MailChimp. It allows you to do that. Now we're going to go into design, and like I told you, this particular one didn't have a template already created for Memorial Day, so I created one. And I always stick with something simple. And I mean, if you want to add more bells and whistles to it, you can always go back. But you can see there's all kinds of things you can change here. Now if I wanted to change this picture, I would click edit the block. I would click replace. I'd go find another picture and I'd make sure that it's just about the same size, 700 pixels by 311 pixels. And then I would, as you scroll down, we're going to save and close. As you scroll down, we have this section where you can go in and edit it. And it was just a blank slate when I got started. And then save and close. And this section right here I added, and I've linked it to all of my different social networks that I use. Actually, it's not all of them, but it's 3 out of 5 of them, plus a link to my website. And the way you set those up is you click on the edit block, and then you just add in your different social networking links. And when you're done, you click save and close. So now we're going to move on to the plain text. Anytime you have HTML, which is what you were looking at, that's why they call it HTML, just means it's got a template and it's got pictures. And plain text is more how most of our emails show up, but you've got to include this for people, and you can see it's here. And we're going to go ahead and confirm that. And then you get this screen which gives you a chance to edit anything. I've got it going to 431 recipients. The subject line is Happy Memorial Day. The replies all come to Lynn Albro at lynnalbro@gmail.com. It's an HTML format, and then it also shows the plain text option. And then when I'm done, I'm going to click on schedule. You notice I set this up for May 27th, 2013 at 10 a.m. So it's going to sit in my box. It's just going to sit there on my list of campaigns. And when the day that it's supposed to go out, it will automatically go out. And my goal is to get Labor Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's up in the next few days. And it literally takes minutes to create one of these postcards. And then next year, because I want them to look different from each year, not that anybody would remember, but next year I'll set up another 8 or 10 holiday postcards. And you can see now it's already scheduled, and we can also at the same time preview and test. And here we've got a pop-up preview, and you can see exactly what it looks like. Pretty simple. So it's scheduled, and I can go back to my campaigns dashboard. This time I'm going to show you the 4th of July one that I've got going on. It will go out. I have it set up to go on the 3rd of July at 4 p.m. because most people don't read their emails throughout the day in 4th of July because they're usually at a parade or at a picnic or at family gatherings. So I want to be able to set, and you can set any of these at any date that you want to set them. So as you can see, I've kept it simple again. Just happy 4th of July, celebrate independence, wishing you a safe and happy 4th of July. Lynn Albro, my phone number, and link to my upcoming webinars. I could also add in here, again, those social share buttons. Okay, and that one is actually much simpler to create because if you go into create a campaign, and you want to go with regular old campaign if you're using MailChimp, which is an HTML campaign, and then you choose your list. I'm going to get this just basically set up so you can see it. And I'm going to name this one Halloween. And Happy Halloween. And then we go forward to the design stage. And we want to go into the pre-design. And if we scroll down, we've got Halloween under holidays. I don't want the 4th of July one. So I've got all kinds of options here for Halloween. I kind of like this one right here. I'm designing this live as we go, folks, so there's really nothing to it. And there's actually a whole article here that you could link to, that's linked to the entire story. And I'm not going to use this one, so I'm going to back up. Kind of cool, but we're marketing a product, so we want to change the template to pre-designed. We'll go back to Halloween, and let's see if we can find one in here that's a little bit more business related. Lots of them here. This one of the reasons I like this one right here is because it's long and narrow, which means that it is really set up for it's actually, this one's set up for a place, a party or something, but it's also set up for cell phones. I told you I'd have a hard time today, and I am having a hard time, and I appreciate your patience with me. But say we wanted to change this from an event, say we just wanted to say we just wanted to say Happy Halloween here. We got some late people coming in late here. And we click Save Now, and you'll watch here. It'll change it now from what it said to Happy Halloween, and then we can actually edit this. And this is a time when I'm going to go find a quotation. I use Quote Garden a lot. Oh. On top of everything else, I'm learning how to use Windows 8. So let's see here. We should be able to find Halloween here. Nope. No. Here it is, right here. So I'm going to choose one of these. And go back to my, I think it's right here. Excuse me. And now I'm going to add my name, my phone number, all of your contact information, and a link to one of my products, which would be or we'll just put a link to my website here. And then you click on the link button there. And insert, and now it becomes a live link. Now we save and we can look and see what it looks like. And we don't need to purchase tickets, so but we could turn this into a link to maybe your website or something. But I think for now we're going to actually just remove it and hide this section. And that will hide the section. Okay, then we click next step, plain text. Everything looks good. And next step, confirm. And we scroll down. Kind of keep an eye, make sure all your lists are correct. You scroll down and you schedule. And if this were a party, I would be scheduling it for whatever date the party was, but we're going to go ahead and go to October 31st. And we want to probably send this out in the morning so they'll have a happy Halloween all day. And I send it based on my time zone. And then when we're done, click schedule. And we go to the campaign's dashboards and you should be able to see it now. Happy Halloween is scheduled for October 31st at 10 a.m. So that's how simple it is. I'm going to actually run through this newsletter real quick and show it to you. It's still in draft stage, but I'm going to show it to you what it looks like. Nice opening there. And then I started talking about how March was an interesting month. I talked about the habit number 4, which I will have to replace. I put the little section on me, and then my Facebook links, Twitter links. And one of the advantages of a newsletter is that more people open them up on average. Because the assumption is, and you don't want to disappoint people, but the assumption is that you're not providing them with something where you're selling. You are providing them with information about you. And there's one thing that people want on the internet, and that is to get to know you first before they do business with you. And they also want to know whether you're an expert or not, and they want to be able to trust you. And a newsletter is an excellent way to answer all of those needs in your prospects. So that's that very quickly. Now let's go back to those were the date-driven campaigns. The purpose of an autoresponder campaign is to nurture leads, converting prospects into clients, or if they are already clients, it would be just to keep nurturing them as a lead, providing information that will keep your name in front of them, keep you as the resident expert, and also continue to build trust. I'm going to tell you for instance, I don't have a way of showing it, but I've been working with an autoresponder campaign with some real estate agents that actually, once you trigger it, and that would be based on the date of the sale. When the house closes escrow, then you could trigger this campaign, and it is a homeowner campaign. It's a current a buyer campaign, and basically it goes out 5 years. And the first letter that goes out thanks the buyer for buying the house. The second letter that goes out 3 days later, just checking in to see if there's any needs. The third letter that goes out, I think about 2 weeks later, is asking them or inviting recommendations, recommending you as a realtor to your future clients. And then about 1 month, one goes out that says you've been in the home a month. Now might be a good time to take photographs of all your valuables for insurance purposes. And it goes on, and I think the last 3 to 4 years are about once every 6 months, an automatic letter goes out. And as they get closer to the end of the campaign and the end of 5 years, the focus shifts from you're a new homeowner to it. Now you've been in the home for 3 years. Are you going to remodel, or are you going to move? Have you run out of space? And towards the end of that campaign, and only about 2 letters go out a year, they say, is it time to remodel or move? So this goes on for 5 years, and it keeps your name out in front of people that are your clients. And this kind of autoresponder campaign can be used for just about any type of client, and I just highly recommend it for setting up a already client campaign and keeping in touch with them for the next 5 years. You're just further building trust. But let's talk about it just a little bit. You have to set up a contact list. And in the one I was just talking about, that would be a client list or a newly purchased home list. You have to create a series of letters or postcards, and then you need to make sure that they're relevant for whatever time frame these people, whatever year it is. I mean, you wouldn't want to talk about a tax cut in 2013 when it doesn't look like there's going to be any tax cuts, but you could maybe talk about a tax cut in another year or so, and how that would benefit the homeowner. But you got to make sure that these are relevant, because once you set these up, it's very much like a set it and forget it. Once it's set up, those emails are going out every month. One of the things, I saw some emails, a series of emails, again, going out for a real estate agent, and one of the emails said, what are you doing this weekend? There's new homes on the market. And at that particular time, and just like today, there were no new homes on the market. The homes on the market were, the inventory was so low that there weren't any homes on the market. So you do want to pay attention to the campaigns that you set up and the way the market changes. And then finally, you schedule the autoresponders to deliver a campaign in a certain number of days after the trigger date. So I'm going to show you an autoresponder campaign that I set up, and it is 365 internet marketing tips. In a couple more days, I'm going to be like new, but for right now, I'm really kind of struggling. As we scroll down here, you can see it in one of these tabs. This is my 365 internet marketing tips, and if you haven't liked me on this page, it might be a good thing to do, because I try to put out a lot of new ideas on a daily basis. I'm kind of behind right now because I've been sick. But if we click on this Facebook marketing page, this takes you to a Facebook page that you create, and essentially, just so you know, this is a picture, and it says like us first, and it points at the like button, and then it says 5 steps to Facebook marketing success, and it talks about the steps, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and then when you click on it, you get your first guide immediately. So we're going to click on it, and I'm going to walk you through the process. I'm going to use one of my other email accounts. And once I click on it, the subscribe to list, they make it clear that you're subscribing to a list. Now I'm going to go to my, it should be, where there it is. It says, please confirm subscription. I confirm it. And now I've got step 1 of Facebook marketing, the basics. I attached it to the email. And if any of you are interested in how I did this, I actually have a how-to on this. It's in one of my blogs, and I'd be glad to send you a link to it so you can see how it's actually done. I use Facebook steps to establish my expertise as an expert in internet marketing, and to get more contacts into my contact email file, and to build trust, because I provide really good quality information. And it's not working as well as it used to, because Facebook used to have it set up so that if somebody came to your page, your Facebook business page, the first page that they would go to would be an invitation to like this page and then sign up for Facebook steps. And now they have it set up a little bit differently, so that I don't need this page anymore. So that they don't give you the option of setting up that page. But I still get a few people now and then that sign up for Facebook steps. I could actually promote it right on the page of my my different Facebook pages, and I just haven't taken the time to do that. But I wanted to show you how this tool is set up. So you've already seen step 1, you've seen the sign up, and now what I want to show you is the autoresponders. I click on the autoresponders, and as you can see, I have steps 2, 3, 4, and 5. And step 2, they get 3 days after step 1. Each one of these is close to 1,000. Each step is close to 1,000 words. Meaning I could literally turn this into an ebook if that's what I wanted to do. But I'm choosing this autoresponder system so that people see my name in their email, just like right here, they see my name in their email every 3 days. And it's not going to let me do that. There we go. So, in step 2, let's view email. There we go. And this is what the email looks like in step 2. I always try to provide an image because it gives some people something to look at. And again, you can see there's a lot of detail going on here in step 2, going all the way down the page. And I have all of these autoresponders set up here at my MailChimp account. Step 3, which goes out 6 days later, talks about Facebook groups and pages. Lots and lots of information there. And I recently had to update this because Facebook changed, and in fact they changed again last week. They're in the process of another, what I would call, semi-major change. I haven't seen it at my my Facebook page yet, but I've seen it at other people's Facebook page. So it's real simple to set up a Facebook autoresponder, in that, let me show you the different details on it. Let's edit it and then you can see it. First of all, you choose your recipients, which list you want it to go out to, and then you choose the trigger, and I always choose the subscribe date, but there's campaign events, any link that is clicked, specific link clicked. This might be I'm teaching 101. This is probably 102, 103. I've got it set up for 3 days after the trigger date, and I like it to go out at 10 a.m. in the morning. So if it went out Tuesday, if they signed up on Tuesday, then Friday at 10 a.m. they would get step 2 or this email. Next step is sending the event. So again, you're creating a campaign with a campaign name, from it, who it's from, your reply, your email address, and then design is the next step. And I usually try to choose a design and stay consistently with it. And I set this one up earlier just to show you. I took one of the my recent emails out, and I really need to edit this because it's just too intense going on there. So we'll see if we not going to let me do that. I think it's in styles. Let's call it a subtitle. There we go. That's a little bit better. Oh, I don't like that color, so we could go in and fix the color. Oh, it didn't let me overwrite it. Nope, it's still not letting me overwrite it, and I'm not really sure why that's happening. But the title that's at the top is just way too long, so let's try default text, and let's change the size, 18, see if it'll let me change it. Nope, it's not letting me change it because it's still, it won't let me change it. It wants to be either a title or a subtitle, and now it won't let me change it back. That happens sometimes. I don't understand why. It's a glitch in the program or something. But then I copied and pasted this whole link in, or the whole article in, and when I'm done, you click Save Now. And then the next step, and this I'm going to have to come back and fix this, is the plain text page. And I usually leave the plain text page the way it is, but you can always click copy text from HTML. And then you want to preview and test. Open the pop-up preview. And this is showing it to me in plain text, and I didn't mean to do that. That's because I'm in the plain text page. Well, we're going to click confirm, and now you can review the different things that you've applied to this particular campaign. It's an autoresponder, the list it's going to, the subject line, all the replies going to Lynn Albro, and it down at the bottom, then you can start the autoresponder for 3 days after the trigger sign up. And I was just setting this one up as a sample to show you how to do it. I'm going to go ahead and click Start Responder, but you can at any time go in and put one of these on. Say we're just going to pause this one. You just click the pause button because I don't really want to send that out. I just wanted to show you how it was done. Okay, back to our habits, back to our presentation, and I believe we are now down at the takeaways that I wanted everybody to take away from this. And let's put it in presentation mode. Okay, so I want you to set up your main contact list and then segment it. This is a good time to take those business cards, the Rolodex, all of the different lists of contacts that you've had, and put them into a spreadsheet, and while you're at it, maybe several spreadsheets, and segment them. I've got 3 different things here: sphere of influence, prospects, and clients. I have set up my different lists kind of as we go. A lot of my lists are based on a project that I'm working on. Like I have a list just for the 2013 challenge. And then I set up a list every month for the specific habit number 4. Number 2, create a date-driven campaign for your sphere of influence segment, postcards and or newsletters, uh, even just letters that you want to go out. They're date-driven, but I would set up 10 or 12 of them to go out to one of your main lists, maybe your sphere of influence, your biggest list. Maybe everybody, all your lists would get a thank you card, not a thank you card, a holiday card. And then number 3, create an autoresponder campaign with that you can exchange for contact information, with an offer, missing a word, that you can exchange for contact information. And I probably spent the longest time on the autoresponder campaign, but I want to invite you. In fact, I don't even have to invite you. I'm going to send you a link to this training, and along with the link to this training, we'll have a step-by-step how to set up an autoresponder campaign at Facebook.